We have Brett Young on Pure Country all across Canada. And I want to say congratulations on the birth of your second daughter, because I haven't chatted with you since the birth of your first daughter. What's it been like being a girl dad? Because my dad growing up had two daughters, and I feel like it takes a special man to have all of those women in the house.
You know, I love it. I thought if you would have asked me before we had our first child, I would have been like, I want boys. I want them to play sports, the whole thing. And then I met my first daughter and I fell in love and that relationship started to form. And to be honest, when we found out we were having girl number two, I was over the moon because it was the relationship with Presley, our oldest, was already so special to me. And so it's been amazing. And I'm entirely out of my depth and outnumbered in my house. And but luckily, my father-in-law, my wife is one of two girls about the same age difference as our daughters. And he was able to give me advice beforehand and just say like, hey, you can't beat this. Nope. You just are outnumbered. That's just the way it will be. Just learn yes or yes, ma'am. Yes, honey. Yes, dear. And you're going to be fine. And it's been great. I think I took to it pretty naturally. All of the dad chores and the changing of diapers and the things that are helpful when you can't breastfeed and do all the early on things. And
yep.
It's been fun. I got to be home with Presley for most of her first year and a half because we were all stuck at home, and we're now trying to figure out ways that I can be around a lot for Rowan because we're working again. And so there are some obstacles to navigate, but it's been really fun.
Yeah, my husband and I just had our first son last December. So I feel like it's definitely a different time to navigate having a baby in, but it's fun.
It is fun. It is fun. Congrats. You guys are you one is like just turning a corner. You're like, it's just, it starts just getting easier from one. Okay. I feel like.
Good. I like to hear that. So your album Weekends look a little different these days. Now, speaking of my husband, he actually wrote one of the songs on the album with you. It's called Leave Me Alone. And that song, I remember when he wrote it with you, I feel like you're in a different season of your life, obviously writing songs like Lady about love and your girls and stuff. Was it fun kind of getting to put a different, put a character on and sing a song like Leave Me Alone still and have that breakup song on there?
Yeah, that's such a fun one. That was really the most interesting and challenging part of making this record, was not just writing a full album about my daughters and my family,
Right.
They call those lullaby records. I don't think that would have worked out very well. And so, yeah, it stretches you as a writer to write about something that you're not currently actively going through. And that was one that was really fun. Jesse Frazier was on that. He always comes up with something really funky and kind of left fieldy in terms of the music, which takes you into a different space anyways. And yeah, that's a fun one. It's always fun to be happy and have your life going well and then get up there and sing a song that's strangely sad,
Yeah.
And so that was fun and challenging about this record for sure.
So the theme of 2021 was kind of like surprise collaborations for everybody, I feel like. Is there somebody out there that you kind of still have on your bucket list of duets or collaborations that you really want to work with?
That's a good question. I got to do a ton of that with the Christmas record, which was really fun for me. All the way from, a couple of my favorite Christian artists to Sam Fisher, who's one of my favorite voices in pop music, to, Darius and Maddie and Tay and Colby Calais, who I've been a big fan of for a long time. So I got to check a ton of boxes with this Christmas record, but there's one still outstanding, and it's within the genre. And it was the artist that got me into country music in the early 90s, Tim McGraw. So if there was ever an opportunity there, I would take it in a heartbeat.
We'll just send out all the good vibes and hope that happens.
You send those good vibes. Come on.
So, of course, you've got the Christmas album out, Brett Young, like the Christmas classics with all your friends. And is that constantly playing in your house already to get ready for Christmas?
Yeah, I think my wife puts that on ad nauseum at this point. but you can't blame her because my oldest recognizes my voice, and if she's like having a tantrum or she's tired or hungry or whatever's causing her to be a little bit edgy, if you put on any of my music, it settles her down. And so the fact that my wife loves letting Christmas happen as early as possible in the year and that it settles my daughter down, it's getting played quite a bit in the house.
I will say my husband's music does that for our son. And I'm like, what a blessing that, us moms of musicians have this little trick up our sleeve.
Yep, absolutely. And you can't even blame them for it.
Nope. So last thing, Christmas is obviously a big thing in your household with two little girls. Do you have a Christmas tradition in the Young family that has started every year already?
I don't know that we have one in our household yet. I think this will be Presley being 2 will be the first year where she really gets it.
Right.
So I'm kind of expecting this year to be the year where something happens organically that we're really excited about and we want to repeat. I always had a couple growing up with my parents that were, I think, strange, but we did every year. And that was, we would have tamales at Christmas Eve because there was a woman in my dad's church. My dad was a pastor that would always make him homemade tamales. And then on Christmas Day, my mom would make homemade chili. And so I think those are 2 things that are non-traditional for Christmas that we always did in my house. So I'm hoping there'll be some version of that happens this year that we can carry on with our kiddos.
Yeah, I love that. Awesome. Food is always a big part of Christmas.
Absolutely.
All right. So good to have you, Brett Young, on Pure Country, and hope we get to see you in Canada soon.
Thanks so much. Good to see you too.
See ya.